and this is the third eye complex. Now, the nerves to the eyes, the optic nerves, come from the outside of the thalamus to the eye. So it's like the optic nerve, not the optic nerve, the third eye is connected to the eyes of the face, and then between it, in the ethmoid, between the eyes, that also connects directly into the third eye here. So the upper face is more these higher energies from the central brain complex. Then as you drop down from the eyes, you've got this whole area, and the nerves are all coming out from more this area there. This is like the chest for the chest and lungs. The pons is like the chest and lungs for the central brain complex, and that's coming into the chest and lungs for the face. Now, this is the throat coming up. It comes up the inside. This called the inner chamber. This is the top of your throat. This is like the third eye for the neck and throat. And then out from here, you've got the vagus nerve coming down, and it's more the hara. And the ones coming to the jaw more the hara, but you've got the vagus nerve coming down here. In this, I'll be teaching holographic breathing, so I'll describe this for the new people first. Now, for the new people, if all you do in this webinar is learn holographic breathing and get a general idea of what we're doing, that is more than enough. Just learning holographic breathing and practicing it, I think, will change your life. It is a very potent and far-reaching. It's not a system. It's just a natural breathing that becomes part of you and transforms you. And there is a recording, so you can go over the webinar and get deeper amounts out of it each time. So in holographic breathing, there is a structure. It's a very light and meditative breath. The breathing is through the nose. The lips are closed. The upper surface of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth, and then on the in-breath there's the jaw very gently opens, and on the out-breath it very gently closes, and it's a small motion, about half a finger width, and the lips stay closed and the tongue stays on the roof mouth as the jaw is breathing or moving. Now it's very counterintuitive, so it's good to wait for the meditation. You can have your mouth closed and the tongue on the roof mouth, but it's not so easy just to start that rhythmic jaw movement. But we will be going, I will describe it again, I will demonstrate it, and then I will be talking people into that in the meditation. And well, I'll give a demonstration now, so because there are so many new people, so you can see that it's a very soft breath work, and the movement of the jaw is it is small. It's just 3 or 4 millimeters. You may not even see it because the jaw is moving slowly, but you will realize that many people they open and close the lips when they're first doing it, but the lips stay together. So I will just demonstrate that so you get an image of it. And for me, it's instant. I go into an altered state or deep meditation or channeling space, just instantly, just starts, and it is deeply relaxing. And I will carry on in that theme because that is what we're going to be working with. In holographic breathing, there's this gentle motion of the jaw, and as I teach it, I have to teach it as an exercise to get it started, but then at a certain point it just starts, it just becomes part of your breath, and it's no longer to do with the jaw. The whole body starts to breathe in a new way, where every cell is breathing, and the jaw is just going along with that. And we are going to work with 3 different, it's called holographic breathing for a reason, because with holographic breathing, the body, face, cranium breaks up into fractals which have energetic matrix which mirror each other. So you start breathing in that way. It starts from the mouth, but then all of the structures of the face start to breathe. You can just feel them very subtly opening and closing. Then after a while, all of the structures of the cranium start to breathe, the same as the bones breathe in cranial osteopathy or cranial sacral therapy. The same happens in holographic breathing, but it is from the breath. So we will get it started, and we will start working with this breathing motion of the face, and then we'll connect to the breathing motion of the cranium. But what I haven't taught much, and what I'm now teaching in the advanced webinars, now anyone can come to the advanced webinars as long as you know how to do holographic breathing, but we just take it into far more depth. We're working with the breathing motion of the neck, and how that interfaces through the face and brain. Now you may be able to feel it energetically as I'm pointing to the different areas. Now in that relationship, the neck is a bit like the hara. It's the deep earth. It's like a trunk of the tree, and it deeply grounds the face and the cranium. And the face is very much more heart-based. So this becomes like the hara, which is a kind of a center just below the navel, but it's to do with the abdomen, the pelvis, grounding, strength. The face is much more to do with the center of the body. It's like the heart and lungs. It has a very fluid, kind of bit more emotional feel to it. And then the whole cranium and brain is much more to do with the intellect and the higher energies and the connection to the beyond. So within that you have the hara for the neck and the grounding for all of this. You have the heart for the face, you have the intellect for the head, and then you have the connection to the divine coming above. But then within all 3 of those, what we will be working with as well, the mouth and jaw. It's like the jaw relates to the pelvis, the tongue relates to the digestive system, the whole mouth and jaw relate in one way to everything below the diaphragm, the abdomen below the diaphragm. The big sinuses here, these are like the lungs, the nasal passageways are like the heart. So this is more like the chest and the heart energy. The eyes connecting directly into the center of the brain. These are like the brain for the face, and the higher energies in the intellect. So you've got not only you've got the hara, the heart, the intellect, you've got the hara, the heart, the intellect in the face, and the same in the cranium, the lower back of the cranium, and then as it comes forward behind the face, this whole area quite grounded. Then the middle area is much more heart orientated, and the top of the head is much more like the intellect, the higher energies and the connection to beyond. So the cranium has a hara, a heart and an intellect, and the same happens in the neck, the whole lower part of the neck, where it comes right down to the shoulders, to the collarbones, to the at the back to the shoulder blades. This lower part is the hara and also the sexual energies. You come halfway up the throat and neck. This is much more heart-based, emotional energies. And then the top part, which is higher than most people think, that the neck doesn't stop here. The trachea comes up and then joins the esophagus and into the pharynx, and it comes up. If you put your hands, if you feel just in front of your ears, and you move your jaw up and down, you'll feel that's where the jaw is joining into the cranium. And that is the height, the top of that bone where that is going up and down. That is the level where the pharynx is coming up against the cranial base. So the higher energies, this is like the third eye for the neck. So you've got the lower energies of the neck here, the hara, then you've got the heart, and then the higher energies are right up here behind the nasal passageways and where the neck is coming up and joining to the back of the head. Now, the face and cranium people enjoy, and they give you a nice strong connection to the higher self and to the divine energies and meditation and insights and things like that. But and they kind of start naturally in holographic breathing, but the way the neck, I'm not going to go into in depth with the neck. You know, we're doing 6 2-hour webinars to go into the neck in depth and the different energies of the neck, so we can only kind of get a general idea. But the way the neck breathes is quite complicated. There's many different levels to it and many different ways it works. We'll go into it in a general way, and people don't drop into it so easily, but we will be working with that tonight, because if you can get the experience of the neck breathing, that brings all of this energy that starts in holographic breathing and really grounds it into your body, grounds it into your digestion. It will make you stronger, it will make you healthier, it will heal the digestion, it will heal the organs, it will heal the lungs, it will heal the heart. By working, because you've got the vagus nerve. If you put your hands on that up-down bit, and then just come back a bit behind the lower flaps of the ears, you'll feel another bone there. That's the mastoid process. The cranium has dropped down a bit there, and between that, the front, if you go to the front of that bone pressed up behind the ears, that again is the underside of the cranium, and the back of the pharynx. Just in from where your fingers are there, that is where the vagus nerve is coming out of the cranial base from the central brain complex. So that, and it comes down and it relates to the pharynx, it wraps around the esophagus, it makes this lattice work around the esophagus. So learning to breathe with the neck, with the esophagus, the pharynx, it activates the vagus nerve, and you get this deep connection into organs, and you start being able to feel your organs. The organs come to life in a new way. I am sorry, but I can't talk about things in a surface type way. When I start speaking channels, I channel. Channels come in, I start speaking the thing, and sometimes people get bored or think, oh, he's just talking, I wish we could do the meditation. It's a channel, and it often knocks people out. People pass in and out of sleep, and it's not just the intellectual things that I'm saying. Whatever happens energetically touches on people in different ways, and quite often it's happening at a level where people pass in and out of consciousness, and it's fine to do that. It's like listening to the pauses behind. There is information, but there's also spiritual information that I don't know about because it's coming from up here somewhere. You know, I don't understand it, but it hits on people on a level beyond the intellect. So I do natter on and I take things into a greater depth. So I will be talking for a bit, and then as that works through people, that will ready people for the meditation. Explaining that, I've totally forgotten what I was talking about. But it opens, I'll try and connect to the thread again, it opens the organs and they start working. Oh, that was it. There is so much chronic fatigue, irritable bowel syndromes, different digestion problems. It seems to be on a mass level that people, and the brain is an organ, the cerebellum's an organ, the cerebrum's an organ, the central brain complex, they are organs that are connecting to the organs in the body. So there's all the brain dysfunctions, there's the toxins, and we may feel it in the digestion. You can't quite feel what it is, but you can feel it's upset and you think it's in the organs. But my experience of it is there is the karma of whatever happened to you. And that can be lodged in an unconscious way in the organs. And my experience is that when doing holographic breathing, and especially when you work with the neck, because it activates the vagus nerve, it starts the communication with the organs becoming more strongly. And the organs start to light up. They start to come to life in a new way. And you start feeling the karma. Now, there is the karma in the organs, but in the trauma or the experience or whatever has happened to put that karma there in the first, the nerve contact, connection, it's often being held in place because the communication between that organ and your brain is not happening. So as this starts breathing, as holographic breathing starts breathing and work through the body, it will open those channels so you can start feeling things in the organs happening. And then you start on a deeper level feeling the nerves breathing and the nerves coming to life and the communication. When you get the communication between the organs and the brain, suddenly it can start integrating and healing in a new way. A lot of the trauma is that it's just no longer communicating from, say, the stomach to wherever that relates to in the brain. Whatever, something got upset, you were treated badly, you feel very upset, it's hurt your tummy, and you can't express it, or whatever happens, it gets held. Now, it doesn't just get held in the stomach, it gets held in the communication between the stomach and the brain. And in allowing that, it's a bit like going to a counsellor who can deeply listen, where you talk your experience, it's deeply heard, and it can start getting better. It's like that communication between the stomach and the brain is like going to the perfect counsellor. And the brain listens to the stomach, and the stomach listens to the brain, and the vagus nerve starts moving this energy, and you can feel the vagus nerve coming more alive. It's like you can feel it becoming softer and more fluid, moving through it and just opening as a channel of energy. And then for a deeper and stronger one, it's connection from the brain to the divine energies, the unknowable, where it can be healed in a way that we don't even understand and can't be explained, but that greater consciousness. And that isn't another. That is part of yourself, but on a higher level. So that is what we're kind of working, even though we're going to go into it just in a very general way. That is what we're leading to. And the whole of, the whole body is relating to the brain from, you get the brain and then coming through the central brain complex and then down through the spine and then out through the nerves. That's how the whole body works. But the face, you don't get the nerves from the spine coming from the face. They're all coming from the central brain complex, and they're called the cranial nerves. The optic nerve to the eye, it's a cranial nerve, and it's coming from high up. It's coming from the thalamus, and between the eyes, the ethmoid in here, it's coming from the thalamus. The top, the central brain complex is like a little person. It's got a head on the top, it's got a neck, it's got a chest, and then the medulla oblongata, that's like the legs. It's like a little person. Where the higher the cranial nerves come out of it, the higher the energy, and they're relating like that to the whole face. So the whole face is cranial nerves. The vagus nerve is a cranial nerve. It's coming into the oblongata, medulla oblongata at the bottom, and then the muscles that orchestrate, the nerves that come to the muscles that orchestrate holographic breathing are also cranial nerves. So the whole way, this movement of the jaw and then how it spreads through the whole face is activating the central brain complex. And I'm going to show you, many people would have seen it, but I'm just going to show you the pictures so that you understand that in a pictorial way of how it's working, and give you a picture of the inside of the brain and also where this top point of the throat is. So there you have the vagus nerve, there you have the brain, there's the central brain complex. This is the vagus nerve, and it comes down each side of the larynx, pharynx, and then it also wraps around and it comes out into the heart and lungs and the whole digestive system. Do you know that's the bottom? I wondered why. There it is again. See, they've got the spine there, you've got the vagus nerve coming down, it comes to the organs, it goes a bit into the back of the mouth, into the hyoid bone there, and it comes forwards into the neck here. So actually, let's just go to the top and wrap down, just so you can get an idea of these pictures. So here we are, here's this webinar. There you are, 7:30 to 8:30. So this is the central brain complex. So medulla oblongata, pons, midbrain, and then you've got the, I forgot its name, thalamus, where it's written there in big letters. The thalamus there, this is, I've forgotten its name, but it's where the two parts of the brain join together. I'm dyslexic, so I forget words. This is also the third eye. This is the area of the third eye. So this is the midbrain. This is, the cerebellum is split into two. The cerebrum is split into two, and all of this is one. It's joining those two sides together. And this is the third eye complex. Now, the nerves to the eyes, the optic nerves, come from the outside of the thalamus to the eye. So it's like the optic nerve, not the optic nerve, the third eye is connected to the eyes of the face. And then between it, in the ethmoid, between the eyes, that also connects directly into the third eye here. So the upper face is more these higher energies from the central brain complex. Then as you drop down from the eyes, you've got this whole area, and the nerves are all coming out from more this area there. This is like the chest for the chest and lungs. The pons is like the chest and lungs for the central brain complex, and that's coming into the chest and lungs for the face. Now, this is the throat coming up. It comes up the inside. This called the inner chamber. This is the top of your throat. This is like the third eye for the neck and throat, and the back area where the muscle. See, the neck doesn't just finish here. The muscles are coming up to the back of the cranium. So, you know, you've got this area which relates to the higher energies, this area which is like the third eye for the neck and the throat. And then out from here, you've got the vagus nerve coming down, and it's more the hara, and the ones coming to the jaw more the hara, but you've got the vagus nerve coming down here, and also, I forgot, hypoglossal, I don't know the names really, but the nerves that operate these muscles that instigate holographic breathing. So here we have those nerves going into the central brain complex. This is the inner chamber here. And the nerves are going around it and above it, and they connect to it. You've got the vagus nerve is 10. This is the vagus nerve here. See, it's right at the side of the pharynx there. So that's it's all the facial nerves. Here it is, you're looking from the back. See, there's the cranial base, your pharynx, the air is coming back and breathing across the underside of your cranial base. It's not like it's unattached. Your breath coming in is turning into energy and you know, brushing the underside of the cranial base and then back against the spine. The spine is behind it. So, and these holes here, and there's more holes coming back this way, there where the cranial nerves are coming through, and they're all passing by this area. See this, the styloid process there? Well, just inside, this is where the vagus nerve is, coming out of the cranial base here and here, just to the sides and slightly behind the pharynx. So as you're coming up into that top area of the pharynx, the breath is running around your vagus nerve. You can directly connect your breath to the vagus nerve. Now, this is just one nerve. This is the trigeminal nerve. If you took away all of the flesh and everything except for the nerves, your face would look absolutely whole. They just get finer and finer. And all of these there's 12 cranial nerves. These are obviously activated. When you're doing holographic breathing, you get this gentle motion of the jaw, and it moves through the whole face. It's being created from the cranial nerves and being fed directly back into the center of the brain. That's why you access such high places, such communication with the beyond and your body so quickly, because it's being fed directly into the very center of your brain straight away. So again, here what we'll be working with, the vagus nerve, and it's coming down either side. So you've got, oh, come off it. So here is the inner chamber here. And then the vagus nerve is coming either side of it down here. And you can see the spine here, and the esophagus, it's either side of the esophagus as it comes down. So obviously if you learn to breathe with your pharynx, with your esophagus, with your trachea, there's the front, you are completely in contact with that. And as it comes down, the vagus nerve is starting to make a lattice work around the trachea, around the esophagus. The trachea goes out into the lungs and the vagus nerve spreads out with it into the lungs, but then it makes this lattice work around the esophagus, and that's how it gets through the diaphragm. It makes its lattice work and it goes through the hole where the esophagus is going through the diaphragm, and then to the stomach, and then through all of the organs. Oh. See, I haven't got my mouse. And so it gives you a connection to your organs. And what also instigates that connection to the organs is the tongue in the face. All right, so stop sharing. I just wanted to give people that picture so they could get an understanding. See, all of those nerves, all of the 12 different nerves, all in the face or in the neck, and as this all starts breathing, it's coming, those nerves are automating that, they're making that happen, but the experiences of what happens and how that connects the brain is instant. It's just going directly into the center of your brain, holographic, and into the third eye, and this connection to the higher self. So you get this very strong channeling in holographic breathing and deep meditation. And what I want to start bringing more to that now is people's strength. You know, it's easy. You move into a transcendental state straight away. As soon as I do it, it's not even a second. It's just a fraction of a second. I'm gone. I'm in that space. But I want to bring not just that divine connection and healing the brain and healing the face. I want to bring a stronger earth to that. And what does that is the neck and the throat. The neck for me is the spine in the neck, and it's the muscles of the neck, and there's some muscles a bit further forward too. But then the throat for me is the pharynx, where it comes up to the underside of the cranium, the esophagus, and the trachea at the front. So it's like they're two different things, and they breathe in different ways, but we're just going to go into, and then in a general way, you can come along to the advanced webinars if you wish. It's a 6 webinar series. We move much faster than these because everyone knows you've already learned holographic breathing. I don't have to teach that part, and we work with 6 different energy systems, all of the organs. In that 6 webinar series, we work with every single organ, including the brain, including the central brain complex, all of that. But anyway, we'll be getting this going in a general way, so you'll learn how to breathe with your neck and throat tonight, hopefully. Or even if you don't, even if you're just learning for the first time, you don't quite get it, there's still, you know, make sure you look at your emails over the next couple of days, because you'll get the YouTube video and you'll be able to view it again. And those videos, you can watch them many times, and each time you do it, you'll get a whole new view. So I've probably nattered too long. So from what was going to be a very short natter, what I'll do, I'll demonstrate it again, and I'll describe it again. I'll describe holographic breathing again. I'll do a short demonstration. I'll give you a few points, and then we will start on the guided meditation, so you don't have to remember exactly my description of holographic breathing, because I'll be talking you into it step by step in the guided meditation. We'll get this all going, we'll get that all going, we'll get that all going, we'll take it through the body. We'll be doing a breathing motion of the hands and feet. If I can find a foot, here we go, it's got floss on it. Breathing motion of the hands and feet, it's, what is it? Breathing in, breathing out. It's like the diaphragm, breathing in, breathing out. I'm not going to talk about that in depth because I've already talked so much. The same with the hands, breathing in, breathing out. The arms and legs are straight, spreading open, then relaxing. Spreading open and relaxing. The same with the foot. And that the jaw takes it through the whole face and head. Some people are putting their hands up. If you want to ask a question, just put it in the comments. Again, I can't talk everything, but we'll be doing that. The jaw is connecting up here, the feet connecting from the bottom of the body, the arms coming this way, then we're going to get the neck going. So we'll do all of that. It's a lot, but you can come back to the video however many times. So you see, it is a lot, and I feel myself getting faster and faster trying to get it all in, but I'm going to give up. You'll have to become confused and just watch the video a few times, the guided meditation to properly embody it all. So, all right, holographic breathing. The breath is through the nose all of the time. No breath comes in through here at all. So the lips are relaxed and closed. It's the upper surface of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. The tip of the tongue will be close to or touching the front teeth, and as much of the tongue on the roof of the mouth as feels comfortable. And then with all that in place, on the in-breath, the jaw gently opens. It's a small motion, 4-5 millimeters, 1/4 of an inch, half a finger width, opens on the in-breath, closes on the out-breath. And it starts as an exercise, but after a while that just connects in to the muscles of the breath, and it just does it automatically. So I will demonstrate that, just a few breaths. So you can see, you'll basically just see that the lips are closed and I become relaxed. So it's a deep, profound, deep, meditative space instantly. It just comes on instantly. Now, many people coming to this, they may be rebirthers or connective breath people. It is not connective breath. It's a natural breath with spaces. So later you might want to try that, but I don't really advise it. But definitely at the beginning, you know, forget what you've done before, just a natural breath with spaces. It will find, you don't have to do it deep or shallow. It will find its own rhythm, its own space. Now, as many people may notice, I kind of, well, not me knocks people out, the channels knock people out a bit. If you're learning this for the first time, you don't want to go to sleep, or you don't want to pass out while I'm giving the instructions to actually learn. It's fine to fall asleep after it's going and you've learnt it, but if you miss any of the bits, a miss is as good as a mile, and you won't be doing the holographic breathing. So it's important to stay awake for the first 10 minutes or so. So I advise people, if they're new to this, be seated, be sitting up. Don't do it lying down if you're the first time, because good chance you'll go to sleep while I'm teaching the first bit. If you're doing it seated, and then once we get through that first bit, and you'll know when it is because I'll start doing the movement of the hands and feet once it's going, then it's fine to lie down. So, you know, you can be seated, but just if you want to lie down, be seated somewhere close to where you want to lie down afterwards. So if if you want to get the most out of this webinar, it's best not to go to sleep while I'm teaching that first bit, and to be seated for that first bit. So closing your eyes. If you know holographic breathing, just gently dropping in the holographic breathing. If you don't, just breathing in a gentle and relaxed way. And we're going to bring in some resources to start off with. Sending a smile, sending some energy to the earth. And allowing the earth to say hello back. And notice what that feels like through your body and through your energies. And sending a smile, sending some energy to the higher self and the beneficial energies. The beneficial energies are any channels, any divine beings, any higher teachers, any higher energies, anything beneficial that you work with. So sending a smile, sending some energy to the higher self and the beneficial energies, and allowing the higher self and the beneficial energies to say hello back. And notice what that feels like through your energy, through your body, and through your energy. And asking the earth, the higher self, and the beneficial energies to be with you through the whole webinar as your healing guide and as your resource. So you are totally resourced within yourself. Got your connection to the higher self and the beneficial energies. You've got your connection to the earth, and you're aligned and whole within yourself with those, and healing with those. Okay, we'll start with the holographic breathing. So having the lips relaxed and closed, and having the tongue, the upper surface of the tongue, on the roof of the mouth. The tip of the tongue is close to or touching the front teeth, and the upper surface of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. And it's as much as feels comfortable. You may have 1/2 inch of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. You may have a whole inch the tongue on the roof of the mouth. You may have the whole tongue on the roof of the mouth. But as long as it feels comfortable. For the new people, it may not be a huge amount, but as much of the tongue on the roof of the mouth as feels comfortable. And just to get the experience that you can move the jaw and keep the lips closed and keep the tongue on the roof of the mouth, just having the lips closed and then just gently letting the jaw kind of bounce up and down. It may feel a bit like chewing, that you can move the jaw up and down, but with the lips closed. So just moving the jaw relaxed in an up-down way with the lips closed and the tongue on the roof of the mouth. And now slowing that down so it's nice, slow movement. And then when you feel ready, as the jaw is dropping, allowing the breath to come in through your nose. And as the jaw is rising, allowing the breath to come out through your nose. So it feels a bit like a bellows. We're going to change it into a more meditative way in a little while, but to start off with, it's quite physical. It feels a bit like a bellows. As the jaw is dropping, it feels like drawing the breath in through the nose. As the jaw is rising, it's a bit like the breath is coming out through the nose. And gentle, it's relaxed, the jaw relaxes open, the jaw relaxes closed, and it's small, slow movement of the jaw. The jaw drops, the teeth are separating, the air is coming in, and as the jaw relaxes back together, breath is coming out, and the teeth just float back together so they can either gently touch at the end of the breath, or they can just stay slightly separate, but they don't come together hard, they just gently connect. The jaw gently opens, the breath comes in through the nose. The jaw gently closes, the breath comes out through the nose. Relax the back of the neck, relax the back of the head. The lips stay closed all of the time. The tongue stays on the roof of the mouth all of the time. You may start feeling yourself becoming more and more relaxed. Now we're going to change the gestalt a bit. We started with the emphasis in the mouth. Now we're going to bring the emphasis to the breath. As the breath comes in through the nose, the jaw relaxes open. As the breath comes out through the nose, the jaw relaxes closed. Notice how everything becomes softer and easier. Breathing in, the jaw relaxes open. Breathing out, the jaw relaxes closed, relaxing the back of your neck, relaxing the back of your head. You may already start feeling it starting to work down the back of your neck and maybe through the throat. Breathing in, jaw relaxes open. Breathing out, the jaw relaxes closed. The lips stay closed all of the time. The tongue stays on the roof of the mouth. Now we're going to allow that to move through the body a bit. You're breathing in, the chest is opening, the jaw is opening. Breathing out, the chest is closing, the jaw is closing. Notice how natural it feels. It just connects to the muscles of your breath. Chest is opening, the jaw relaxes open, the chest is closing, the jaw relaxes closed. And then down into the abdomen. The abdomen opens, the jaw relaxes open. As the abdomen closes, the jaw relaxes closed. Notice how you can get a really nice deep breath into the abdomen, but it's effortless. You don't have to try. The abdomen opens, the jaw relaxes open. The abdomen closes, the jaw closes. The jaw just becomes part of the breath. Feeling your whole torso breathing, and the jaw following along. The arms and legs breathing, the jaw follows. Notice in a very subtle way your face, your whole face has started to breathe. And your cranium has started to breathe. It's a bit like all of the bones and muscles and tendons of the face are breathing. All of the bones, muscles, the brain, the cranium are breathing, just very subtly. And also the neck is breathing in a new way. And we'll also bring in this breathing motion. There's a physical, which you can do of the breathing motion that you can do of the hands and feet. Just start with the feet kind of flapping up. If you started off sitting to learn it, it's fine to lie down now if you wish, because the holographic breathing would have started. Sometimes it's easier to do the hands and feet lying down. So whatever feels most comfortable. If you want to lie down now, please do so. Feet flapping up on the in-breath. The feet relaxing down on the out-breath. It connects to the breath. As the feet flaps up, you'll feel that pulling through the whole front of your body as they relax down also. So you start off with them flapping up and flapping down, and then after a while the feet are pulling up at the front, but also pulling the heel up from the back, so the muscles are tightening front and back. And rather than the foot flapping, it splays out on the in-breath and relaxes and cups on the out-breath. And feel that pulling into your diaphragm. Foot splays out on the in-breath and flattens. The foot relaxes and cups on the out-breath. The same with the hands and arms. Hands splay out on the in-breath and flatten. The hands cup on the out-breath. You may feel that moving the other way through your body and rising up through the spine, through the face, through the cranium, and you get this other wave connecting from the exterior and moving right up. You get a breathing motion of the cranium. And there's a channel coming in, and in the group at the minute you may feel it also connecting to the higher self and the beneficial energies. There's quite a spiritual energy coming in. Kind of being spiritually led. I wasn't expecting to do much of this in this webinar, but there is quite a strong connection to the beyond. There's this breathing motion through the whole body, and that connects to a subtle breathing motion, or whatever that is, up into the heavens, in the higher self. So as your whole body starts to breathe, and through the neck, through the face, through the cranium, connects to the higher self. Okay, so that may just be there as a general theme that we will carry on, but there's also this dialogue to the other side, orchestrated from the beyond. It's not really beyond, it's part of you. You've got your body, you've got your emotions, you've got your intellect, but the higher self is part of you. It's like connecting to yourself on a higher level. So it's a really nice dialogue going on with the beyond. So allow that. And allow that really to drop into your body. So feeling that breathing motion through your whole face. It's not just the mouth. I mean, the mouth is moving more because the jaw is separate, but notice it's moving through all of the bones of your face in a very subtle way. It's kind of opening out on the in-breath, closing on the out-breath. And notice the quality of what that feels like in your face. This whole movement and feedback, maybe of the breath, but the nerves are connecting directly into this little person in the center of your brain, the central brain complex. Connecting you directly to that, and through the third eye to the higher self. You may feel, if you feel the whole face, if you feel the eyes, you may feel a flashing, brighter energy. And if you feel between the eyes, the ethmoid, this flashing quality is the higher self and the third eye for the face, but it's also connecting to the third eye in the brain. And then dropping back, maybe to your ear holes or the sides of your cranium, noticing in a very subtle way, it's almost hydraulic, that the cranium is breathing. Opening out to the sides as you breathe in, closing as you breathe out. So all of the bones of the cranium are breathing in this very hydraulic way. It's different with the cranium because it's a closed orb, so for it to expand out to the sides, it actually shortens top to bottom. It's like a balloon. So for it to expand one way, it contracts another way. It has a different feel, and because it's 90% water, cranial sea, it feels very fluid. Feeling your cranium and brain breathing. Notice the quality. Notice it's very different to the face. The face is more emotional. The brain is more to do with the higher energies and the intellect. Doesn't mean you have to think, it just means there's a quality. Of that. You can feel right at the center of that you have this central brain complex. It's kind of joining it all together. Then dropping down into the back of the neck, down into the throat. Notice how it changes again. This is like the hara, this is like the body. And in holographic breathing, in many things you visualize in the body, but notice with holographic breathing, you actually go there, that you drop down into your neck. Your being actually, or the viewer actually drops down into the neck. Notice how it feels much more physical. Notice how you can feel your arms and legs more strongly. Suddenly it connects those higher energies of the face and brain to your body. You may feel your spine. You may feel your digestion. You've got the muscles and the spine more to the back, and then at the front you've got the trachea and the esophagus and the pharynx. And starting off with the very lower neck. And if you come into as if it has a pelvic floor, the top of the lungs is like, or that whole area is like the thoracic diaphragm, but the top side of that is the base for the neck. You feel the sexual energies in the base of the neck. Feel it connecting to your genitalia, to the pelvic floor, to the rectum, to the pelvis. And feel the sexual energies connecting to the neck and throat. And then you feel that whole lower part of the neck. So we've done the hara as the neck, the heart as the face, and the intellect as the cranium. Now, as a holographic fractals, we're going to do that in the neck. Then the lower neck, like the pelvis and abdomen, breathing very physical. Notice how grounding. It may feel quite difficult and arduous. I'm making it difficult for you tonight, but it will heal you physically. Build your immune system. The neck will connect to your hara, to your strength. Notice you breathe in a different way. When you breathe with the neck, you have to find a new way of breathing. It's a very up-down motion. Then coming up to the middle area of the neck and throat, notice how now it's more sideways. It opens out to the sides on the in-breath, closes immediately. Notice how the middle of the neck connects to your heart and lungs. It's gone up a level. It's the emotional body for the neck. Feels easier. And then coming up to the upper neck, right at the back where the muscles are coming up onto the lower cranium, and you come right up to the top of the pharynx, behind the eyes, the underside of the cranium, where the breath is coming through the nasal passageways, right up where the TMJs are and the ear holes are. You might feel kind of a bright, flashy light there where the top of the throat connects to the eyes in front of it and to the third eye above and behind it. And to feel that, you can feel the tongue pushing up right at the back of the hard palate, and then you can rise up behind that and up, and you rise up to the underside of the cranial base. Connects to the eyes, connects to the third eye in the brain, and also moving up to a similar level in the back of the neck and the back where the muscles are joining to the back of the head. And the atlas vertebrae, the top vertebrae, is also very bright. And feeling the whole neck breathing all of those energies. And feel that connecting to your whole body. That's reflected over and over through all the different parts of your body. Then, still having that there, having the whole neck breathing and coming forwards and up to the face. The mouth has a physical quality to it. So this might go on for a while because I can feel the karma behind it, so I'm kind of feeling to go more slowly than I thought I was having to go. So we just to allow people's process to move along with it. So still breathing with your neck and throat, but being aware of your mouth and jaw in the face. So we're moving into the heart and the hara, the heart, and the intellect for the heart, the face. Feeling the quality of the mouth. Quite a physical quality, especially the back of the jaw. Notice how this is all possible with holographic breathing because everything breathes. Nice physical area of the face, nice grounded area of the face. You feel the tongue on the roof of the mouth and rising up through the roof of the mouth into these big sinuses either side of the nasal passageways. These are like the lungs and the nasal passageways. Notice you've gone up a layer. This is the heart and lungs for the face. So below it you've got this very grounded jaw and mouth, and you move up onto the first level. You've got this much higher energy of the heart and lungs, and you can feel that connecting to the cranial fluid and cranial sea in the brain. It's much more sideways motion. It's like the lungs opening to the sides on the in-breath, closing on the out-breath, and you can feel the cheekbones opening and closing with it. And moving up between the eyes into the ethmoid, between the eyes, and you might feel this bright flashing light in the ethmoid. You might feel light flashing through your eyes. This is connecting to the thalamus and the center of the thalamus. The top of the central brain complex, the third eye for the brain. Third eye and eyes for the face connecting to the third eye for the brain, and also behind the eyes and just down very slightly, well behind, directly behind the ethmoid, you've got the top of the throat. So you've got the third eye for the face, the third eye for the throat, and the third eye for the brain, all meeting together. And then feeling the whole face, the lower face, the middle face, the eyes all breathing and communicating. And then notice how that communicates to the different levels through the brain, through the neck and the throat, and through the whole body. It's fractals, it mirrors through the whole body. Now you may be going through different levels of consciousness, and just allow it rather than hanging on to your reality. Just allow yourself to float from level to level, from experience to experience, and allowing them all. Many people will just pass out if they try too hard, but if you just let the energies go through you and gently feel it Allow it just to go through you, and then you'll stay more aware. Let yourself channel, let yourself move from level to level, from experience to experience. Then becoming aware of the lower back of the cranium. It is the earth for the cranium. Relates to the back of the jaw, lower back of the jaw. Relates to the lower back of the neck. Now we're moving from that much more tactile quality of the face and heart-orientated quality of the face to the quality of the brain and cranium. A higher level. It's the intellect, the higher energies, and the connection to the higher self. Feeling the whole lower cranium breathing. Back of the cranium, the front of the cranium, behind the face. Breathing. Or behind the pharynx, actually. You might feel some flashing in your brain. So I can feel that I'm giving a lot of information. I may have taken on more than I can choose. So just going with it in as comfortable way as you can. You know, you don't have to be aware of every bit. You can just let my voice flow through you. You can just let the energies flow through you, and just in a very relaxed, general way, being aware of what I'm saying. You can always come back to the recordings and go through it again. Coming up to the middle of the cranium, middle level. Notice how this relates to your lungs and heart. Opening out to the sides on your in-breath, closing on your out-breath. Relates to the middle of the neck, relates to the middle of the face, relates to the chest and heart. Also activates the cranial sphere, activates all the fluids through the brain. Then coming to the very top of the head, you may feel this whole flashing light go off. You may feel a connection connecting up through the crown chakra to the higher self as the top of the head starts to breathe. You may feel the brain breathing and feeling the whole cranium, the whole brain, the whole face, the whole neck and whole throat, all breathing, and all the different levels, all the different fractals balancing each other and flowing in it and out of each other. And allow that to start spreading down through your whole body. Every cell split up into those energies, every organ, every set of organs, the arms, legs, every muscle. The whole body breathing with those different energies. And communicating up and down through your body, through your spine, through your neck, through your face, through your head and brain. Notice how you can discern the different qualities, that you can move into the neck and throat, and it will ground your face and head. It will ground the experience. You come to the top of the throat and neck, and you feel it lighting up in your eyes and your third eye. You come into the face, it's more heart orientated, but it still has a hara, a heart, and an intellect, and the higher energies. Feel the quality of your face. And dropping back into your cranium and brain, you move out of the heart into the intellect, the higher energies. And this release through the top of your head into the beyond. And you drop down into the neck and into the throat, and there you have the ground. There you have the hara. Feeling that moving through your whole body, allowing that to express out through your whole body. In a very general way. Allowing yourself to connect spiritually to the beyond, and allow that breath to connect to the beyond. So you have the hara, the heart, the intellect, and then when they're all breathing in unison, when all of those breathe in unison, it opens the crown chakra and you connect with the divine, you connect with transcendence. You're letting everything breathe, and you're letting the divine come down into you, and you're letting everything release in you, and the energies rising, the energies ascending into the divine. And you're still doing holographic breathing. Holographic breathing is the breathwork modality that's enabling this. You feel your whole body breathing, all the holographic and fractal structures and its connection to the beyond. So it's really a deep healing, just allowing that deep healing to happen. You may be flowing in and out of consciousness, that is absolutely fine. Allow the back of your neck to relax. A lot of healing at the minute in the back of people's necks, allowing your back of your neck to relax. Maybe drop your chin slightly. People's necks are lengthening. Letting yourself be with that divine connection. It's kind of encoding. There's a message at the minute. People's cells are being informed. People's DNA are being informed on a spiritual level. Holographic breathing isn't just of the body, it's also of the divine, and the divine connection is enabling people's DNA. Just allowing that breath, allowing your DNA to be enabled. Okay, we're going to come back in about a minute. It's been a long meditation, so just being easy on yourself. like we've been round the universe a couple of times. And sending a thank you to the earth. Sending a thank you to the higher self and the beneficial energies and the divine connection that's been informing us. And letting the energies go off for love and healing to the earth. For love and healing to the divine energies, the higher self, the beneficial energies, whatever divine connection you've had, letting the energies go off to that for love and healing. Allowing yourself to be loved and healed. And letting the energies go out to all sentient beings for love and healing. And you are a sentient being allowing yourself to be loved and healed. And when you feel ready, gently allowing yourself to come back. So wave your hands if you enjoyed that. Great, great, wonderful. Everyone, pretty well everyone. That probably been quite hard work for a few people. It was a lot more material, and we hit many more levels than I had expected. So that, especially as we went through the middle part, I could really feel it hitting hard. People were then we kind of went through a level and it all became much easier. So that was a deep and strong meditation. It's well worth going over the recordings. It will be different every time. It's not like you're doing the same thing. We're working with principles, and you can just go deeper and deeper with principles every time. People who are new to holographic breathing are definitely advised to go over it again, because just learning holographic breathing is profound on its own without going on that journey that we went on. So definitely worth watching the recordings. We've got the 6 webinar series where we work with all of the organs and how they relate to the different areas of the neck. What we've worked with today is hara, heart, intellect, and the connection to the divine. We work with a system of 6 energies in the advanced. It's still a matrix, and it's the same for every part of the body, but it's more powerful, it's more in depth, and we work with the deep earth energies, the fire energies, what I call the yellow energies, the lung circuit, the blue circuit, and the brain and higher energy circuit. And this is supposedly a Tibetan system. I had a teacher and he called it Tibetan pulsing, and he had Tibetan teachers, and that's just carried on in a general way with me and opened up in many more levels with holographic breathing, and we work with that in the advanced webinars. It just makes it much stronger, and you can access the organs in a much more profound way, and the brain in a more profound way. So you can still join that webinar series. We've done 2 webinars, but the recordings are still there. You can work with the recordings, and the 3rd one is next Sunday, so people can join that if you wish. In about a month's time, I'm going to start a practitioner training. Again, anyone can join that as long as you've learned the holographic breathing, which we did tonight, and people can take it deeper again and connect to the energies for teaching and sharing holographic breathing. I think that's it. I've come to a halt. I've burbled for nearly 2 hours. I've suddenly come to a halt. I really want to bring more people to my YouTube channel. There's 7 years of free webinars, recordings on my YouTube channels, everyone different. So there's just a huge amount of just powerful tutorials and guided meditations which you can access from there. So if you go on that, it's good to like them, share them, subscribe, so holographic breathing can be shared more strongly among people that way. And then you know, I've got to get paid somehow. We've got the advanced webinars where we just go into it in a much more profound way, and the practitioner training, which is just at a totally different level, to be honest. Whether you want to be a practitioner or not doesn't really matter. The energies just come through on a whole new level, and the energies come through at a level for you to learn to do it for yourself and align you in that way. In the practitioner training, it comes through on a much higher level and gives you the ability to teach it, because you're not just teaching a thing with holographic breathing. There's a whole reality and divine guidance with it. So many people don't go on and teach it, but they still get hooked up into their higher energies in a much stronger way with that. If you're new, once you've got holographic breathing, you don't have to sit and meditate. You can do it while you're walking, washing up, wandering around. Many people do it as they're going to sleep. I normally, it's just my normal breathing, but more strongly and consciously, I normally do it, going to sleep, or I'd normally do a couple of hours. I wake up early and I'm just doing holographic breathing and working with different circuits and channels before I actually get out of bed. But it just goes for me all day, because it came through, it was literally a blinding flash of light, and holographic breathing started nearly over 20 years ago now. And it never stopped. So that is all there. If you want to move along consciously, just practice and do holographic breathing. Come to these free webinars, listen to the YouTube ones. If you want to go faster and stronger, come to the more advanced ones. If you want to donate anything for this experience tonight, on my website, the webinar page, towards the bottom of that, there's a donation button. But rather than donate, just come to an advanced webinar.